Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm here with Nissan. We get to take a look at the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra. This model here is the SR. It's finished off in bluestone pearl. MSRP for the SR starts right at $25,000. Now this particular model also has the premium package and the all-weather package, so that does increase its MSRP. Now let's move on to what this is powered by, which is the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It's paired to the Xtronic CVT, and it pumps out 149 horsepower, 146 pound-feet of torque. It is front-wheel drive, weighs in at just over 3,100 pounds. Its estimated 0 to 60 time is just shy of 9 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 12.4 gallons. You'll expect to see it 29 miles per gallon in the city and 38 out on the highway. Now this also has a wheelbase of 106.5 inches. Its overall length is 183.3. It has a width of 71.5, a height of 57.1, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.8 inches. Now as we move to the exterior styling for this SR, you'll notice the V-Motion grille has the blacked out center. Just to give it more of that sporty design, you'll notice that distinctive line for the edge of it, which also loops around to the LEDs for all of the lighting, where there's that triple beam design along with it wrapping around the bodywork in the lower section. Now this also gets the forward-facing camera in the lower section of the Nissan badge, and there's the sensor for distance pacing in the lower section of the grille, where there's also some more cutouts to provide cooling when needed, and some lines coming down the hood to finish it off. Now for the SR model, this gets a unique set for the 18-inch wheels with that two-toned design, and you'll notice more of the gloss black treatment for the side skirts. It's also on the mirror caps, where there's a camera and a turn signal. There's a moonroof up top. And this particular model also has the optional two-tone paint scheme. So you'll notice the super black for the roof, along with that brushed chrome trim accent for the window trim up top, just to give it a nice design. And then working our way to the back, more of the gloss black treatment for the spoiler. It's on the bumper, which is very distinctively different compared to the rest of the lineup. You have the diffusers there in the middle, and then that sporty exhaust on the driver's side. Now this also has remote start, so you can use the key fob to do that. You can also use the key fob or the release underneath to gain access to the cargo space. Now for this latest model, it's about 50 millimeters wider for the trunk opening, and it's a little bit lower too. So that way it makes it easier to load in items where you can fit a 55-inch TV in the back with the back seats down. In order to do that, you have the pull tabs that you can use, and then you get a little bit of storage under the floor where you can place some items as needed. But even with the back seats up, you have an ample amount of cargo space for this smaller sedan. And then as we work our way to the interior, this model has a pretty simple door panel, but you have some soft touch materials. There's Bose audio, you have a cup holder storage in the lower section, and then a neat design with the stitching and the insert for these Softex leather seats. And then at 5'10", there's actually a good bit of space in the back. Now you only have an auxiliary there in the middle, there's no storage pockets. And at my height, I'm just barely touching the headliner, but I could ride around town, have 2 people in here with me. And then there's also the armrest, and you have 2 cup holders there. And then a pretty thin pillar in the back, so it's easy to see around that, especially out on the roads. Now up front, you'll notice the window controls, side mirror adjustments, you have more storage down below, and then you only have the power operating driver's seat. So the front passenger is manually adjusting. And then it's a low sedan, so it makes it easy to enter, where let's start this up. There's the new design for the steering wheel, which has the leather trim, no spoke in the lower section, and you have that flat design there. Now on the left, there's all the cruise control settings. This also has the Pro Pilot Assist, and there's volume. On the right side, you have tuning, voice commands, and Bluetooth. And then with the first 12.3-inch screen, you can get into a shortcut menu, so you can control what you'd like to see here, where we can go into the meter change. So you have a few different ways that you can adjust this screen depending on how you want to view it. Now for the rest of this information, you can go to your home screen, and then you have some vitals here that you can scroll through as needed. And then you have a lot of different settings that you can get into as well. So you can monitor all of these and customize everything to your liking. Makes it very easy to configure. Now there's a trunk release, heated steering wheel, lane keeping assist, 1 air vent, and then with the secondary 12.3-inch screen, this is the home setting. So you have all of these icons here that you can add and configure as needed. You have shortcuts into the music, your phone when that is paired, And then the last one will get you into your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's interior lighting where you have about 64 different colors to choose from. And as you can see, there's also My Q Garage. So this will notify you if your garage door is open or closed. So when you leave the house, you will be able to double check on that, which is nice. And then you have shortcuts in the lower section to further get through your climates. So fan speed, temperature, heated seats, heated steering wheel, and a few other controls. Now there's also physical buttons down below for your seats, your temperature, your fan speed, and then there's some defrosters as well. Now right in the middle, there's volume, hazards, and tuning, and then you have a shortcut to the camera system. So when the vehicle is in park, you have your forward-facing angle along with a few different settings on that right side. If I put it into reverse, of course, we have the backup camera, and you get similar angles so that way you can see. Now, if you happen to be in drive and the forward-facing camera is not appearing, you just push on camera and it will pop up. Now, there's also ambient lighting, like I mentioned earlier, so you have that one strip there. There's auxiliaries, wireless charging, you have cup holders. There's also a B mode. This is for engine braking. And then auto hold, the e-brake, engine start stop, and you do have a few different driving modes depending on the throttle response you would like, your steering input as well, which is nice to see. And then there's plenty of room in the center armrest. You have plenty of room in the glove box, more lighting, the rear view camera there, a sunglass holder, you have dome lights and controls for the sunroof. And then here's a look at visibility where it's pretty easy to see over both shoulders. There's a lot of visibility for this smaller sedan. So as we sat off behind the wheel for the all-new Nissan Sentra, I've been driving this model and the SL for the entire day with Nissan. So I've had a lot of mileage behind the wheel of this, just with the two different trim levels. So my first time filming with the SR here. This is a really neat trim level. If you're looking for something a little bit more sporty, there's no changes in the suspension or the power or anything. It's mainly the cosmetics, but it does give it a really cool look from the outside. Now, with that being said, you do have some functional modes with sport mode, which is nice to see. So when you put it into sport mode, the RPM will jump. You do get a bit difference in the steering wheel, which is nice. And then of course you get the added throttle response. So depending on how you would like to drive, you can modulate that with the 3 different driving modes. So that is nice to see that it is functional. Now, it's not a crazy fast sedan from what we've been able to do today, but it can get up, merge, get onto the highway, things like that. And it's also going to give you a really good MPG. So if you're looking for a $30,000 brand new vehicle in today's market, this is a really good option to go with. It's also been pretty comfortable and quiet as well. So I have it in sport mode. Here we go. And we can quickly get up to the speed limit here. So the throttle response is nice, especially when you have it in sport mode. And these seats are also pretty comfortable. Now with this SR, I don't think you get the gravity seats like in the SL that we've been driving. So they do feel a little bit different, but it's still going to be a comfortable seat. We have the nice materials for it. And for this sizing too, it seems to give you an ample amount of space, which is nice. So if you don't want a large sedan, maybe you're doing a lot of city driving, this is perfect. It's so easy to maneuver. And for the pricing too, all of the amenities that you get, the large camera system and everything, it just gives you basically the necessities without going overboard, which I think is great. So you don't have, aside from the 64 different colors with the ambient lighting, everything else is very simple, and it's nice that you have some physical buttons down below. In a world where everything is going to the screen, for the Sentra, they have given you some of those controls down below just to make it easier, especially while driving. So we're still in sport mode, here we go. And this is going uphill, where we don't have too much of a range here, but as we take this uphill, we can test its power, because this is a pretty steep incline. Now with the SL that I was able to drive, I was on a little bit different of a back road. So take a look at that separate full review if you want to see kind of some more country style roads versus this slower, twisty road here, where we have a beautiful view from it as well. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the latest Nissan Sentra. Honestly, a really nice interior. For 30 grand in today's market, where the average price is just over $50K for a brand new car, we do have some plastics. You have Sentra stamped in one of those accents, but for the rest of it, I mean, it's a really nice interior. It's hard to argue for the price with the quality of the interior. There's no rattles, there's no squeaks. It's pretty refined feeling and something that you could drive every day. And as far as visibility goes there, very easy to see all around. So it's not a big vehicle, but it gives you the space that you need where you can use this every day and not really worry necessarily about how tight it is. It's just, it is a small sedan, so just know that going into it. But you could have 4 people in here and use it every day. So definitely a great place to be, and really neat to be able to take a look at this latest generation. So it's pretty much the same. We just have some updates for the interior and the exterior styling, and 4 different trim levels, all under $30,000. So you have different options depending on what you would like to spend. But that is going to wrap it up for the latest Nissan Sentra. Once again, huge shout out to Nissan for inviting me to this event. Be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.